Come on, come on, come on, come on. Pick up the phone, Gabrielle. Damn. She's got a kid. She went to the supermarket. She went to the park.
Hi, Max.
Well, hello yourself.
Well, I went downstairs, but your secretary told me you were up here.
Yeah, I was just taking care of some personal business.
Oh, if this is a bad time.
No, it's okay. You don't have a costume of Mark Anthony or a Vine out here, do you?
No, just me.
I think it's safe. Come on in.
Did you happen to see the announcement in the Banner this morning about Rob Coronel's marriage to Joanna Layton?
No, I didn't get past the business and finance section.
Well, I tell you, it came as a complete surprise to me. And for heaven's sakes, Rob came to Wade and Mary Lynn's wedding with Cassie. I assumed they were back together again.
I don't know anything about that.
Talk of weddings make you nervous, Bo?
No. Why do you ask that?
You seem on edge.
Well, I'm still a little ticked off at Renee for bad-mouthing Dr. Bruner to you.
Come on, all she did was express some concern. You knew perfectly well I had my own concerns about it.
Yeah, but not the same suspicions that Renee had. I mean, you know, that woman thinks that everybody in the world's out to get her. She's bonkers. You know I'd never do anything to hurt Asa.
I know that, but I still think that some of her questions were certainly valid. After all, nobody knows anything about the man except you.
All right. Brought something for you to read. Vicki, here's some articles. This one is the one that turned me on to Dr. Bruner in the first place. It talks about some pioneering research that he's done. And these are some medical conferences that he wrote letters for. And now I have a list of research projects that he was invited to supervise in clinics throughout the whole world.
Well, you've certainly done your research.
Well, I have to give credit to my secretary. She's the one that did it. I wanted to put your mind at ease.
Thank you.
Vicki, you heard from Cord?
No, actually, I was hoping that you had.
Well, Nigel told me that he said that he just had to leave the country, so I figured he must be on some kind of a photo assignment.
Not for the Banner. In fact, all I know is what Sarah told me, that he had to leave town. I have no idea why he had to leave so quickly or even where he went.
Oh, I've really got to go work off some of this French cooking. Why don't you take a couple of these and I'll wake you when I get back?
Oh, Robbie, you know I hate sleeping alone. And it is our honeymoon. Besides, you look just great.
Give me a half hour, okay?
Okay, but not a second more. I'm going to change into something more comfortable.
Cord, come in.
Is, Joanna around?
Yeah, she's changing. Did you get into the clinic?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got in. And I had a little hassle with one of the security guards over there. But let me tell you something I did find out. That doctor was lying to me about good old Dr. Bruner.
So when the secretary went to go get the water for you, you looked through Dr. Bruner's file.
That's right. And I didn't find one shred of paper saying anything about where Bruner has been for the last 2 years.
Why would the clinic director lie?
I don't know. But the secretary did tell me that whenever Bruner's name comes up, this Dr. Metz goes into some kind of a nervous condition. He'll talk about any other doctor who's ever worked at the clinic very freely, except for Bruner.
And she doesn't know why.
No, she doesn't. So I was thinking maybe I better go back to the newspaper morgue and check that out again. Maybe there's something I missed yesterday.
Good. What a nice surprise.
Hi, Joanna. How are you?
Forgive my appearance. I didn't know you'd be stopping by.
Oh, don't apologize to me. You look great.
Aren't you sweet? We haven't seen you since we checked into the hotel. I suppose you've been quite busy.
Yes. Yes, I have been.
Well, you can't spend all your time in Geneva on business. Why don't you join us tonight for dinner? Some friends of ours are throwing a party in our honor, and we'd love to have you there.
Oh, well, that's
a
very
terrific
nice of you.
idea.
Cocktails are at 7:30, so we should leave the hotel by 7. Oh, it'll be great fun. Please, do join us.
Okay. I accept. Thank you very much.
Great. Just meet us back here a little bit before 7.
I'll be here in proper attire, of course.
I'll walk you down.
Okay, great.
Robert.
I have to go work out, remember? And then I think what I'm going to go do is arrange for my father's money to be transferred back to Landview.
You'll be filling out forms for hours. Can't it wait until tomorrow?
Well, I really would rather get it done now. Then we can enjoy the rest of our trip.
All right. But promise me one thing. No more business after today.
You got it.
And don't lose track of the time. We can't be late for the party.
Right. Sweet dreams.
See you in a bit.
I don't understand how I could have been so wrong about John, you know. Maybe I was just trying too hard or something. I don't know. I thought that he was the man that was going to be able to keep up with me, so to speak.
Yeah, well, maybe you just need to slow down on the fantasies a bit.
No, that's not it. It was Cassie. He couldn't get her out of his life. I mean, how long did it take you to get over Tina?
Long time.
See, there you go. And then you were going to marry her. I mean, he was contentious to live with Cassie and not even commit himself till she ran off with Rob. And that's why he went to London to get her ladyship to take Rob back.
Sounds to me like he's pretty serious.
Yes, it certainly does. And he tried to convince me that he was just concerned about her because she was going to get conned by some man. Right. I almost believed him, too, until he totally freaked out when I told him that Joanna had married Rob. All he could think about was poor Cassie, poor Cassie.
Well, aren't you concerned about poor Cassie?
Cassie and I aren't getting on too well these days.
Melinda, she's your only family besides Dorian.
You know, I keep hearing that family is supposed to be so important, but in my experience, the last people in the world I would trust would be my family. What about you? You and your brother, you trust each other?
Well, we've got our problems, but I'm going to put us back on the right track as soon as Steve recovers. Family is important. It's damned important.
Said with such conviction. Are you waiting for a call?
No, actually, I'm waiting to make one. Do you mind?
You want me to leave?
No, you just stay put.
Mrs. Holden, are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. Why?
The phone's been ringing off the wall. I was worried.
It's okay, officer. I'm just not in the mood to talk to anyone. I'm sorry. Excuse me. All right, Max. What's going on? You worried about Steve? Is that it?
No, I stay worried about Steve. It's Gabrielle.
Is she sick?
No, she is angry. She's upset. And she may be in danger.
Actually, I find it rather strange that Cord didn't say anything to you or Asa about his trip, considering he lives with you.
Well, you know, Asa doesn't even remember the last time he saw Cord, and as far as me, Cord and I tend to go our separate ways. We have disagreements. I keep trying to convince him that nothing's going on between Tina and me, except friendship. The man absolutely refuses to believe it.
Tina's feelings for you have gone far beyond friendship, Bo.
Did she tell you that?
No, of course not. She never said a word. In fact, she denied it vehemently, but I know Tina. And when she protests that much, it's a sure bet she's covering.
Well, if I've given her the wrong signals, Vicky, I'm really sorry.
You know, Tina tends to pick up whatever signals suit her at the moment. She equates happiness with having a man in her life, and since she and Cord are no longer together, it would certainly be understandable that she might misinterpret your intentions.
Well, then I'll make sure that she understands exactly the way I feel without hurting her, naturally. You know what? I've got to get back to the office. I've got a big deal pending, and I want to close it today.
I feel like an orphan. No balloons, no welcome home hug.
Oh, sweetheart. We weren't even expecting you until this afternoon. Welcome home.
That's more like it.
Welcome home, Clint.
Well,
Good to have you back.
thank you, Bo.
How was your trip?
I'll fill you in on the details later, honey. Right now, I'm kind of anxious to hear about this deal that Bo's so anxious to close today.
Well, there's no hurry, really. I mean, you just got home, so I think you got to spend some time with your wife and your family. You know, we can talk business tomorrow.
Nah, I'd kind of like to talk business right now. So, tell me, what have you been pulling off behind my back this time?
It's a typical move, Clint. You just stroll in, you start accusing me of mismanaging Buchanan Enterprise.
I don't really think that's what Clint meant,
Bo, you know, after the Olympic paper mill fiasco, you gave me your word that you wouldn't make any moves without talking to me first.
Yeah, but it's a little difficult to discuss every detail with you when you decide to fly out of here and help some old buddy that's in Arkansas. Now, if you're so damn concerned about the family business, why don't you stick around here? Maybe go to the office with me for 14 hours a day.
This friend of mine in Arkansas was in danger of losing everything he'd worked all his life for. I just made a mistake in thinking that I could trust you for a lousy couple of days to run things all by your lonesome.
No, I've been handling things down there for months now, all by myself. And the company's in very good shape, thank you. So why don't you go back to the Banner and just get off my back?
No. No, I made Pa a promise, and I intend to keep it. So you're stuck with me, whether you like it or not. And there won't be any deals made without me knowing about it, whether you know it or not.
Honey, Bo, I'm sure that you two can discuss this calmly and rationally without fighting. I mean, you both want what's good for the company. Why don't you sit down and talk about it, and you'll reach an agreement? In fact, why don't you talk about it over lunch?
Or, you know, I don't even have time for lunch.
Make time for lunch. I want to know all about this new deal of yours.
I've decided to sell one of our offshore oil operations.
Oh, really? Which one?
The Orca.
The Orca? Why have you decided to sell the Orca?
Because the most recent reports, which you really haven't had a chance to read yet, say that well is running shallow. Now, I see a chance to get rid of it, to sell it to these people, and so that we don't lose any more money. I want to sell it.
Wait a minute, Bo. I know all about the Orca. And this deal stinks worse than the one you wanted to make to sell the Olympic paper mill.
Henry, you are driving me to distraction.
Very well. I shall pace in the garden.
Why are you so upset? Bo, Dee Dee, and Delilah are back in captivity at Wellesley Hall, and no one the wiser about our Bo.
There's still too many things that can go wrong, Elizabeth. The money has still not been wired from Switzerland.
Joanna said that Rob would wire the money, and I'm sure he will.
And what about Cord Roberts? He's over in Geneva, snooping around the clinic, asking questions about Dr. Bruner.
Dr. Metz concealed Bruner's whereabouts for the past 2 years, and successfully at that.
We weren't successful in keeping Clint Buchanan away from town long enough for our Bo to sell the oil operation. If Clint knows enough about the Orca well to oppose the sale, well, then he might convince Asa to side with him, just as he did over the paper mill.
Asa is incapable of siding with anyone, thanks to Dr. Bruner's excellent care. Our Bo can handle any objections Clint might have over selling the Orca. And Henry, you told me yourself that the facility at Stonecrest will be ready by the time our prisoners arrive tonight from England. Really, considering the enormity of our operation, I think we've done beautifully.
Well, perhaps. But I'm not going to uncork the champagne until the money has arrived from Switzerland and our prisoners are safely tucked away in their quarters here in Landview.
Most of all, darling, I just want you to know how much I love you and Max. More than anything, I want you both to be happy. That's why, if anything ever happens to me, I hope you and Max will put the past behind you. Be together without guilt. Enjoy one another's love. Nothing would please me more than to know the two people who are the most important in my life are together. So that your happiness will always be mine. Are you wasting your time? Is there really such a thing as happiness for any of us?
just on my way over to the hospital. I thought I'd stop by and pick up a few more books for Steve.
Sure, come in.
Great, thanks.
You got through all of those already?
Yeah, can you believe it? I think there are a few volumes of poetry left upstairs. I thought I'd take those over.
Of course. I want to thank you for all the support you've given with Steve. Can I ask you, are you sure that all the reading and the talking is really helping him?
Well, I think it is, yeah. I mean, you know this, but he may very well be hearing every single word that I read to him, Gabrielle.
But have you seen any signs, any response at all? Because I certainly haven't. All I see is him lying in a coma. He doesn't move. He just doesn't do anything.
I haven't seen any signs, Gabrielle, but that is no reason to give up hope. Your husband is a fighter, and I have been spending a lot of time over there, and I have this feeling that he's going to be coming out of this thing eventually.
When? 10 years, 20 years, when his son is fully grown and I'm an old lady looking back with just the nights that I spent sitting by a man in a hospital bed. Oh, God, I'm sorry. That must have sounded very selfish.
No, it didn't. I have never known a woman in your situation who hasn't felt exactly like that.
What did they do?
Well, some of them stuck it out and regained their faith that their husbands were going to be coming back to them. And some of them just can't make it, you know, and they give up hope and they start a whole new life for themselves.
The ones who gave up hope, do you think they were wrong?
I can't be the judge of that. I mean, people do what they have to do to survive.
If you were in the same situation?
But I'm not in your situation. I mean, I can speculate about what I would do. I hope that I'd be strong enough to stick it out, but, Gabrielle, I don't know that I could. And that's not the important thing right now. The important thing is that you listen to your own heart.
I wonder what Steve would want me to do.
Gabrielle, do you want me to get that for you?
No.
That could be the hospital or
It's not. I checked with the nurse on duty.
Well, I can just at least take a message or something.
Please. If it's important, they'll call back.
Oh, dear, no answer yet?
No.
Well, look, if she has a guard there, I mean, I think she'll be all right. Nobody's going to break in if the cops are there.
Yeah, but if someone from her father's drug ring in Argentina wants her, I don't think a cop being there is going to matter to him.
Oh, well, why did you let her go back to her own house anyway?
It seemed like the thing to do at the time. Come on, this suite's not that big, and 3 people here, plus babysitters in and out.
Also, she's probably very lonely and vulnerable right now, and you're a very handsome man.
She loves Steve.
Oh, I'm sure she does. I'm sure she does, but she's human, and, you know, I have to say this. When she came in the other day and saw the two of us together, I swear she was jealous.
You know, these fantasies of yours are going to get you in the hot water one day. Listen, I really hate to be rude, but I need to check on her, make sure she's okay. Can we talk later?
Sure.
Great.
Sure. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, me too.
Maybelline.
It's not like anybody is going to lose their jobs over this. Now, the companies, they've decided to keep the men working on the Orca. Any others can be transferred to one of our other rigs.
I don't quite understand why a company would want to buy the well if it's running dry.
They don't know that it's running dry.
What?
They haven't seen the most current reports. It's not like I've shown them false reports. There's nothing illegal about any of this.
Seems rather unethical to me.
Sweetheart, you're wasting your breath. You're using words that Bo happens to have forgotten the meaning of.
You want to talk about ethics? I'll take you on sometime. But right now, Clint, let's just unload the Orca before this company changes its mind.
This company is not trying to buy that company. It's trying... They're not trying to buy the well, Bo. They're trying to steal the damn thing. If you weren't so greedy, you wouldn't be so eager to sell. Now, Asa knew out in front that was going to be a deep well. He bought it for the future. If we got to keep on digging, let's keep on digging.
We're losing money right now, at the tune of about $1,000 a minute.
I read those files before I left for Arkansas. I don't think Asa was wrong about the well.
Asa's been wrong before. He's wrong this time.
Well, if you've got some written reports to back up your instincts, I'd be happy to read them. Meanwhile, you tell your buyers that nobody's going to sign on any dotted lines without my okay. All right?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll have those reports delivered to you by messenger.
Good. You do that. You do that. And have it sent to the Banner. That's where the file on the Orca is. I'd like to keep everything all together.
Fine. That's fine. You know what? You better shift into high gear, Clint, and start thinking about profits. We're not even going to have a company left.
I'm sorry. I tried to stay calm, but that fella keeps pushing the wrong buttons on me lately. I don't know what the hell is happening to him.
Renee thinks he's dangerous.
What?
Yeah. She came by here the other evening and said a lot of things which I found, quite frankly, very disturbing. I wasn't going to tell you any of this till you'd had a chance to unwind, but now maybe I better tell you about it on the way to the office.
Well, come on, let's go.
Darling, you're back on time. You are indeed a man of your word.
I proved that when I married you, didn't I?
Did you get all your business taken care of?
Yes, the money is being wired to Landview in care of your father.
So now all we have to worry about is us.
And Bunny Hartley.
I'm going to go and have a nice shower.
Yes?
Are you Roberto Coronado?
Who wants to know?
You are Roberto.
Yes. Now it's your turn.
My name is Hugo Brisbane. Can we talk privately?
What about?
Your father, Alex Crown, and Sir Henry Layton.
Well, at the rate you're going, you'll probably finish these in no time flat.
Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying the books you're reading.
Oh, I am.
So how long are you going to be here in Landview?
Well, at least through the summer. My little brother just loves it over there at Land Fair. And he and those Buchanan boys have become such fast friends. They're really cute.
That's great. I do appreciate your concern with Steve, really.
Yes. And listen, if there's anything that I can ever do for you, I wish you'd let me know.
I'm fine.
Well, I know about the attack on you.
How?
Well, Tina happened to mention it to me.
Oh, yes. Good old reliable Tina.
Well, no, she didn't mean any harm by
You know,
it.
she never does.
She was just concerned, and so are a lot of people. I mean, I know you have a police guard here and everything, but you must be frightened. And, well, if you get scared, why don't you call me? We'll go for a walk or talk or go eat something. And thank you. I won't press it, but please call me if you need me, all right?
I will, I promise.
Okay.
Thank you again. Yeah, for getting more books.
I'll call if there's any change, okay?
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Gabrielle, why haven't you been answering your phone? I thought something happened to you.
I might as well be lying dead on the ground for all you care.
Everything seems more intense when you have your period. So we made MaxiThins to work under pressure. The middle absorbs better than the leading pad material. And even under pressure, it locks in wetness. MaxiThins, protection that works under pressure.
Instead of waiting and waiting for your allergy medicine to work, try new Alleract. Its antihistamine gives you more relief faster from the cause of runny nose and sneezing than any you can buy. For more relief faster, now there's Alleract.
I've written a sort of educational graffiti with Old English oil. It moisturizes to help prevent drying and cracking, brings out wood's natural beauty in the glorious manner that befits my glorious manner. Old English helps prevent drying and cracking.
If you're looking for a spread with no cholesterol and the buttery taste of Parquet...
Have you heard? Spread the word that Parquet taste you love comes in a great big tub. Okay, Parquet.
Okay. One life to live will continue in a moment.
Tomorrow on Good Morning America, you'll meet a disabled boy who's winning his battle for independence thanks to his canine companion.
Plus the latest from Placido Domingo tomorrow on Good Morning America.
Attenzione! When you use Bertolli olive oil as part of a low-fat, low-cholesterol diet, Bertolli can help lower your cholesterol. Buon appetito!
Miles of Long Island beaches fouled by medical waste.
It's really a disgrace.
Coming up at 5 on Eyewitness News, what it was that washed ashore, the investigation into how it got there, who is responsible, and how much more is out there waiting to drift in. Plus, Dr. Lawrence Balter with things that every new mother should think about if she's thinking about nursing her baby. And Joel Siegel reviews the new Dudley Moore, Liza Minnelli comedy, Arthur II on the Rocks, on Eyewitness News, today at 5 and at 6 here on Channel 7.
This is Gold Bond medicated powder. It's
my body powder. I need it after my shower. Gold Bond's great
For keeping your feet feeling good. Gold Bond is
terrific for diaper rash. It really soothes
my skin after a bath. Gold Bond has essential oils. There's nothing like it for
taking care of itchy spots.
That's why we all use it every day.
Only Gold Bond is made with 4 essential oils to help skin feel fresh and healthy. Gold Bond medicated powder.
It's the everything powder.
Bullies on the next Oprah Winfrey Show.
Keep your phony concern to yourself and leave me alone.
Damn it! I was worried about you. I care about you. I called at least 6 times this morning.
Oh, yes, so damn concerned that you threw me and your son out of your suite.
I didn't throw you out. I made arrangements for you to move back to your own place with Al.
Uh-huh.
You know you couldn't stay with me. You know why?
No, I don't know why. It was heartless and cruel.
It was what was best for everybody. You, me, and Steve. It was no good us being together with Steve in the hospital.
You can't deny the feelings that you feel for me the same way I can't deny my feelings for you.
Don't do this to me. It's not fair.
I don't care. I'm tired of being alone, longing to touch you, to be with you. That night in your suite when we made love, that was right. It was so good. You can't deny the way you felt then.
Look, I had too much to drink. We were both feeling very lonely, very vulnerable.
Just admit that you still care about me, that you want me, that you used to love me, and that you'd like to love me again, except you can't because some warped loyalty for your brother.
Warped loyalty? Yeah, will you listen to yourself? Steve is my brother. He's your husband. I don't care what we feel. What we did was wrong. Look, you broke your vows, and I betrayed my brother, and I will not do that again.
Mr. Colonel, it was not safe for me to come here, but I gave my word.
Mr. Brisbane, what are you talking about? What do you know about my father and Lord Henry?
I was your father's friend. I know Lord Henry has told you otherwise. He told you that Alex was his only friend and that he was the only one that he could trust. He did not tell you the truth. When your father left Europe for the States, he contacted me and gave me this letter to deliver to you.
But why are you giving it to me now? Why didn't you just send it to Landview?
My instructions were to deliver it personally. I knew you were coming to Geneva, and I have been looking for you. Your father was a good man. I loved him very much and pray for his soul daily.
Mr. Brisbane, why didn't my father tell me about you? Why didn't
Please, I know you have many questions, but I can tell you nothing more.
Well, what's in this letter? It is a letter, isn't it?
I have no idea, and I don't want to know. I have made a promise to my friend Alex, and it is fulfilled. God bless you.
My beloved son, if you're reading this, it means my fears were realized. I can't help you now, but I can tell you, things are not as they seem. The truth lies in Wellesley Hall. Wellesley Hall? That's Lord Henry's country place in the Cotswolds.
That was the manager at the bank?
Indeed it was. Happily reporting that he received a wire from Geneva and the money will be transferred immediately.
Thank heavens for modern technology.
Ah, even my incurable optimist is relieved, is she?
Oh, Henry. This whole experience reminds me of a seesaw I had as a child. I didn't like the feeling then, and I don't like it now.
Well, let's hope things continue to go smoothly.
Clown is at it again.
If this country depended on him, we'd be stuck in the 18th century.
Would you care to cease ranting and tell us exactly what the problem is?
Clint's back in town. He's making noises about the sale of that oil operation. Now, he thinks he knows more about the business now than I do. He wants to read every file or he's not going to commit to that sale.
Well, unfortunately, in this case, he does know more about the company than you do.
Oh, thanks a lot, Elizabeth. Why don't you just shoot higher next time? Just kill me outright, okay?
Bo, you're supposed to have answers to all his questions. And a false report proving your reasons for selling the oil well.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you and the lordship over here didn't keep him out of town long enough. The false report's not ready yet. Now, if he reads the files that we have on the Orca right now, he's never going to agree with the sale. So we got to have our company buy that oil well right now, or he's going to know I'm lying right through my teeth.
Where is Clint Buchanan now?
He's on his way to the Banner to read the Orca file.
We have no choice, my dear.
Henry, we must be absolutely certain.
Desperate times need desperate measures and sacrifices in proportion.
Would someone mind translating that into plain English for me?
The less said, the better, old chap. But you can rest assured we will put an end to Clint's ill-timed curiosity.
Is baby all right?
Your concern is too little too late. All the yelling woke him up. Not that I expect you to care.
Gabrielle, he's my son. I love him. I care about his mother, too, but that doesn't mean we can be lovers. What's it take to make you understand that?
What about Steve's letter? Do you care about his desires, too?
Steve deserves a faithful wife and a brother that doesn't betray him.
He believed that we should be happy. He says in here if anything should happen to him, if he's not around to look out for us, he expected us to be together, that our happiness would be his happiness.
He wrote that letter in case he were in a plane crash or an auto accident, if he was killed.
When are you going to get it through your head that he's just as good as dead? He can't see, he can't feel, he can't live. He doesn't expect us to sacrifice our life for him.
He is not dead. And I refuse to give up hope that he's going to recover.
God, you are as sappy as Brenda McGillis.
Listen, I was where you are right now. You're feeling total despair. Listen, you think he's going to be in a coma for years or he's going to die. But you can't feel that way. You got to keep fighting that despair. You got to give Steve a chance.
Stay by his bed day after day, pray for a miracle.
No. You've got a boy to raise. You got a house to take care of. You got a business to run. Get involved in that. Get on with your life. But you got to do it here, in the house that belongs to you and Steve.
So you can get on with your life in your fancy suite with the revolving door.
Gabrielle, I haven't had...
Admit it. You can't have me and the baby living with you because that would cramp your style.
I wish I could make you happy. But I can't. Not while Steve's alive.
What is, good old Gabby supposed to do now? Drop to her knees and beg for Steve's forgiveness? There's nothing to forgive, nothing. Maybe that precious little speech would ease your conscience. Maybe even get you through the pearly gates of heaven, but I don't buy it for 1 minute. You don't care about your brother or his happiness. Because if you did, you'd follow his wishes.
Well, you were not quite as shocked as I was, but almost.
Good afternoon,
Well, afternoon. I wasn't around during most of Paul and Renee's courtship, so I can't really judge how she really felt about it. Afternoon. Cord thinks that she really loves him.
Yeah.
Bo thinks that she was just after his money. So what do you think?
I don't know. At this point, I'm beginning to think that she's just a disturbed woman. I guess she did all this to try to get back together again with Asa. What I find very peculiar, though, is that she would pick Bo to be the villain. I mean, aside from the fact that I have known him and loved him for years, I've had first-hand experience of his compassion and his deep caring for this family when you were gone. I mean, I cannot believe that he's capable of hurting anyone, least of all his father.
Well, you're probably right in not putting a lot of stock in what Renee says. I can understand how she would want to clear herself of the charges that she drugged Asa. And she's probably just giving Bo a bad time because he gave her such a hard time.
Yeah, well, there's no love lost between them, that's for sure. As soon as I started asking questions about Dr. Bruner, he immediately accused Renee of putting them into my head.
You told him what she said?
No, I skirted the issue as well as I could. But you know, I do have my own concerns about Dr. Bruner. Honey, you don't seriously think that Bo is capable of hurting Asa?
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I also don't understand Bo's hardball approach to business. I don't understand that either.
Well, that may simply be an effort to please Asa or to try and call the shots as Asa did until recently.
Well, Asa wouldn't have called this shot if he'd have read these files. There's absolutely nothing in here to indicate that the Orca is a dud. In fact, this last geologist report predicts that we could hit pay dirt any time. So why is Bo so anxious to sell the Orca? Number one. And number two, why sell it so damn cheap?
Have you seen the latest report, the one that he's basing everything on?
No, I haven't. But I find it hard to believe that there could be such a radical change in a week or so.
Well, why don't you sit tight and wait for the report to come in?
No, I got a better idea. I think I'll call the rig. I know the supervisor, and if anyone will know the score, he will.
Darling, did you fall asleep while I was in the shower?
No,
You're not dressed yet. You said yourself Bunny would be furious with us if we were late.
well, I'm waiting for my clothes to come from the valet.
But your dinner jacket's in the closet.
Oh, my shirt's in the cleaners.
Dear, the service in this hotel used to be fantastic, but it's really gone to seed. No doubt we can't even depend on our car being there at 7
I'll
either.
call down to make sure it's there.
I'm going to call the valet right now and give him a piece of my mind.
Don't make a scene. It's not going to improve the service, and it'll ruin your party mood.
I suppose you're right. But maybe I should give Daddy a ring and see if there's something he can do to make our stay here more pleasant.
Oh, I think we can figure out a few things on our own, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Well, now that you mention it. I'm beginning to regret having accepted that dinner invitation.
Well, we're stuck, so we'll have to grin and bear it. Why don't you go down to the bar and wait for me there? I'm sure you'll find some friends down there, so you won't be bored.
Mm-hmm. Staying with you isn't boring.
Let's not start something we can't finish.
All right. I'm off to the bar. But you be there at 7 sharp, or else.
Yes, I would like to call England, but I don't have the number. It's Lord Henry Layton, Wellesley Hall, the Cotswolds.
Stacy?
So I got back at the studio and had a little message there that you invited me over here for lunch.
Yeah, well, I was hoping to apologize for being so rude earlier.
No, you weren't rude. A little bit preoccupied maybe, but not rude. So, is Gabrielle okay?
Yeah, she just didn't feel like picking up the phone.
I've had days like that.
Not too often, I hope.
Well, it depends on how the day's gone, you know, whether I'm happy or not.
Well, would a sumptuous repast at my renowned restaurant here in the hotel make you happy today?
Maybe if I didn't have to pick up the check.
No problem. I'm in tight with the owner.
Great, I'll have one of everything.
Dry martini up with 1 olive, correct?
You've been doing your research.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of research, I've been to the library and I've been doing a little research of my own, and I'd like to ask your opinion about something.
You'd like to know about moving your interview show into one of my ballrooms?
Oh, always pushing. A good suggestion, but that's not what I had in mind.
Okay, what did you have in mind?
The Sun King.
The what?
The Sun King. Louis the 16th.
Ah.
As you suggested, I did a little bit of research into his court, and I was just wondering if you knew how I could find a wild boar or a set of acrobats.
How about a Texas longhorn and an accordion player? You laugh. They're hard to find now. They're too embarrassed to admit they play the thing. I'll tell you what. How about, cheers, a gondola on the River Seine?
I think you have your geography mixed up.
Well, this is a fantasy. It's not supposed to be real.
Max, I just wanted to say how sorry I was about our shouting match earlier. I lost control and I just...
Yeah, we can talk. Now's not a good time.
Yes. Yes, I can see that you're all wrapped up in your poor brother.
Problems?
Nothing that can't wait.
Come in.
Whoa, was I wrong to assume that this was a formal dress party tonight?
No. Did you find anything more about Dr. Bruner?
No, I didn't. I tell you, I looked at a dozen articles a dozen times over, and I didn't find anything that I could latch onto. So I think this is what you call a proverbial dead end.
And you don't think you can get anybody to answer questions at the clinic?
No, I don't think so. I think Dr. Metz was the only one who knew anything about Dr. Bruner, and he's not going to even let me in the door again, let alone talk to me. So I think I'm going to head back to Landview tomorrow.
How would you like to meet me in London tonight instead?
London?
Yeah, this guy came by earlier with an envelope, and it had a strange letter from my father in it. Now, I want to check it out, and I might need your help.
Well, sure, I'd be more than happy to help you out here, Rob. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about this messenger, or better yet, what exactly did your message say from your dad?
What you're really asking is, what am I getting you into? And to be honest with you, I'm not sure. But I got to check up on this hunch, and it could be dangerous, so if you want to change your mind...
Hey, are you kidding? After the build-up you've just given it, you got to count me in.
All right, one more thing. I don't want you to breathe a word of this to Joanna. I don't want her anywhere near this.
Especially the dangerous part.
Yes.
Listen, does Joanna know that you're not going to go to this party tonight? Because she's downstairs sitting at the bar, and I tell you, she looks mighty dressed up and very impatient.
Yeah, well, she'll get over it. Listen, I have already booked reservations on the next flight to London for us. You take the next flight that leaves an hour later.
Relax, Beau. Have a drink with us.
Is that your answer to everything? A cocktail and some witty conversation?
I'm afraid our Beau is feeling a little guilty about his failure with Clint.
Hey, you let Asa steal your company right out from under your nose. Now, Clint's a hell of a lot tougher than Asa. Do you want to discuss...
No. Let's not have any angry words. The money from Robert's inheritance is being transferred at this very moment. Once we have overcome Clint's objection to the Orca Well sale, we shall have the oil company firmly in our pocket.
We can't convince him without the false report. We don't have it yet, Henry.
Hello. Everything has been arranged.
Now you can relax, Beau. Have a drink. Very soon, Clint will have neither the time nor the inclination to interfere in our plans.
Oh, Dwayne, come and get this in about 10 minutes, okay? Honey, would you do me a favor, please, and edit this article for me?
What'd you say, honey?
Just wanted your opinion on this article. Did you talk to the supervisor? Did he agree with Beau's assessment of the well?
No. I called. He's on his way out to the rig. He's going to call me back here. But I'm sure he's going to agree with me. I mean, I've gone over that file with a fine-tooth comb, and there's no way that Asa was wrong about that well. It's going to produce a small fortune for it.
I love the slip.